we're talking about Brock Purdy's contract to start. It's the big topic still with the 49ers. And Jed York talked about it a lot. I don't know what your interpretation was, but he made it real clear on the 49ers. Brock Purdy's a top 10 quarterback, and he's going to be on the team for a long time, one way or another. Do you think that the 49ers are in the process of capitulating and caving, or do you think they'll wait a few more months before they capitulate and cave?
I personally think that they are not gonna cave. Because I think also what he said, like he was like, oh yeah, with what we have around him and with what we give him and with our coaching staff, yeah, I think Brock Purdy's a top 10 quarterback in the league. So in my opinion, that's like his pitch, right? Is you're not going to be this good elsewhere. And so, I mean, I hope not. They could just do like what they always do, which is end up bending the knee come season. But I think it's a little bit easier with them because I don't think Brock's going to hold out. I don't think he can. I don't think he has the leverage to hold out, especially after the Mac Jones signing. So I think that really does help them out where they don't have to cave because he can't hold out. BA could, Nick could, Debo could. He can't.
Here's my best guess after talking to people at the owners' meetings, talking to other writers, talking to Jed York. I think that the 49ers ultimately will make an offer to Brock Purdy that's north of $50 million a year, but south of $55 million. I don't think the Niners will give him the Trevor Lawrence deal.
Yeah.
Or the Jordan Love deal. But I do think they'll offer him the Jalen Hurts deal, which is 5 years, $255 million, $51 million a year with $110 million guaranteed. I think the Niners will offer that. I don't think they have yet. My best guess is that the Niners started real low in the 30s. I wouldn't be surprised. 37. Yeah. And then they went up to 42. And then now they're probably up in the high 40s. And eventually they'll make the offer of, let's say, $51 million a year. And the agent will have to decide if he will push for the next $4 million a year or if he'll just take it. Not just the agent has to decide. Brock Purdy has to decide.
Yeah.
And I think the way the Niners talk about him is kind of the way you would talk about Jalen Hurts. Like, is he elite? No, but on the Eagles, he's very successful.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, again, it all comes down to guarantees, right? Like if the number says $50 million and, you know, it's not 50 million, like we know how guarantees can go and how crazy guarantees can be. As long as the guarantees aren't too high, you can kind of write in whatever you want. But at the end of the day, it's like, I guess you could offer the Jalen Hurts deal, but even then, man, like I just don't understand why. I just don't get why.
Because I don't think he's Jalen Hurts. I mean, Jalen Hurts hasn't had a 6-9 season. Jalen Hurts hasn't had elbow surgery. Jalen Hurts was really, really good in 2 Super Bowls and won one. I don't think Brock's is good, and I don't think he's shown that he can maintain that level of consistency. Also, Jalen Hurts doesn't throw a lot of picks. Brock does. I think they're very different. Also, Jalen Hurts is a flat-out running back. Brock isn't.
Yeah, and I mean, and on top of that, it's just like, even like you said, like last year was the Eagles' bad year, right? Where they got in the playoffs and booted out by the Bucks. Brock Purdy's bad year is, like you said, it's 6-11. Like you could say whatever you want about injuries and yada yada yada, but if I'm going to pay you $50 million, injuries can't affect you as drastically as they affected him. It's not. Look at Josh Allen's squad with the Bills. Like, look at Justin Herbert's talent around him with the Chargers. Like, they don't have it, and they can still make it work. And so that's where I'm looking at these quarterbacks. Like, if I was a GM, that's what would separate me from paying you above 40 to 50 or below 40 to 50. Like with Brock Purdy, I would have offered him 45 and said, take it or leave it. That's it. I'm not negotiating. You got 45. I'll give you 45. And if not, enjoy playing on your rookie contract and we'll see what happens. And I would take the risk of getting burned. I would take the
I
risk
would
of
do
him
with
popping
Purdy
off.
is the same thing they did with Greenlaw and Hufanga and Juszczyk. They're like, look, you seem to think you know what your market is. Prove it.
Yeah.
We give you permission to seek a trade. This is what they did with Ayuk too. If you can find a team that's willing to pay you what you're asking us for, $60 million a year or close to it, and they're willing to give us a first round pick, then we'll give you the contract or we'll trade you. But we think there isn't another team that's willing to give you that contract. I don't think that there is. So why would you do it? That's why I think the Niners are going to be foolish when they give him $51 million a year, even though they're going to pat themselves in the back and say, we got him for cheaper than the Jaguars got Trevor Lawrence.
And I would even say, like, look at the Rams. They did it with Stafford, who's actually at least great, whether you think he's elite or not, whatever. But he's at least a great quarterback. He's definitely better than Brock. They even said it like, okay, fine. Go find a trade partner and we'll see. And the Rams rushed back to the negotiating table like, okay, there are a lot of teams that are willing to pay you what you want. Or there's a handful of teams that are willing to pay you what you want. We don't want you to go.
That's true. That's exactly what they did with Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I would do the same thing. So, hey, go do it. And yes, if a team like the Giants or the Steelers, because those two are getting very desperate for quarterbacks at this point, if they go, hey, we'll pay you $55 million a year, then you have a decision to make.
But they're willing to do that with Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Juszczyk, Dre Greenlaw. Are they willing to do that with the quarterback? I just think it takes some serious cojones. And I don't know that Jed and John and Kyle have demonstrated that level of like toughness in negotiating yet. I mean, they'll take a hard line with players who aren't in the core. But the franchise quarterback, I think they'll.
But here's my thing:
like, give him what he wants.
This is my thing with again that makes Brock like so tricky. Is I forgot who it was, but someone was saying that the reason the Niners are going to do it is ultimately that they're so scared to continue on this QB carousel. We haven't had a bona fide franchise guy since Steve Young. Jeff Garcia, I guess you could throw in there. But we haven't had like a bona fide franchise quarterback. This is our guy in over 20 years. And so I forgot who said that, but I was like, that
if you
really
think about it too,
sense.
like the Yorks haven't had a bona fide franchise guy.
Yeah.
The Bartolows always had Joe and then Steve, and then the Yorks inherited Garcia, ran him out of town, drafted Alex Smith. That didn't work out. Took him over Aaron Rodgers. Gave Kaepernick a ton of money. That didn't work out. Gave Jimmy a ton of money. Traded up for Trey Lance. Like, they've taken 4 or 5 swings at this and haven't gotten it right. And so now I think they want to say, we did it. We're just like Eddie DeBartolo. Exactly. We have organizational stability.
Yep. And I agree. I think that's what they're paying for is stability and safety.
The perception of stability.
Because they tried doing it with Jimmy. And that one damn near instantly backfired.
For the same reason.
And it damn near instantly backfired. The Colin Kaepernick one, I can't blame him. Colin looked like a stud. Like, he really did. Like, he was doing everything. But, like, even then, at the end of the day, man, like, someone's, like, the York philosophy for quarterback is bad. And they haven't found a coach that can eye that can find that. And Kyle's just another one on this long line. Because Kyle's like, oh, I'll hitch my wagon to Purdy, sure. But we all know how and who Kyle is. If he flops, I'm like, oh, it was just like a Jimmy situation, man. Like, I was doing what I can with what I had, and it's just it's tough with Purdy, dude. I feel like it's out of fear. They've already lost so much, right? So if they don't get a deal done with Purdy, your fans are going to be like, now we're going to lose Brock after we just lost Dre and Hufanga and blah, 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 blah. And so it's like, I feel like Purdy's like a publicity signing at this point.
Yeah. And how long after they sign him does Kyle decide he prefers Mac Jones?
Prize Picks is the best way to win cash while watching sports. Baseball season just started. Basketball season is ramping up. The Warriors and the Lakers are in the playoff hunt, and you want some of that action, baby. Best part about the Prize Picks app, it's easy to use. All you got to do to set up a lineup is click more or less on a few players' stats. Plus, Prize Picks is available in over 40 states, including California and Texas. And if for new users, if you use promo code Cohn, put down a $5 lineup, you will win $50 no matter what. Prize Picks is giving away $50 to new users who put down their first $5 lineup, win or lose. So go to Prize Picks, download the app, use promo code COHN.